You're watching the Little League World Series Southeast Regional on ESPN from Warner Robins, Georgia. It is Game 3. Huntsville, Alabama, taking on the team out of Melbourne, Florida. So far, this regional producing 2 into the winner's bracket. One of 8 regionals this Southeast Regional. 8 total teams competing. And South Carolina and Virginia have showed out so far. Alabama and Florida set now to take center stage. We're thrilled to have you with us, everybody. Welcome inside the booth. Drew Felios alongside former Pittsburgh Pirates catcher Mike LaValliere. So far, it's been South Carolina and Virginia, 2 very experienced teams, and experience is huge here in Warner Robins, isn't it?
Well, it remains to be seen in this contest. Alabama only had to play 3 games to get here. Florida, much tougher road. So we'll see how that translates. Is Florida seasoned or is Alabama fresh?
Well, Logan Moore is a player that must play well for Alabama. This is a team that is not very deep, so they need their stars to show out big time.
Well, Logan Moore is their starting pitcher. He bats third. Again, he's going to have to do outstanding work on the mound. Like you said, they're not very deep. Only 10 players on the roster. And for Florida, Brennan Confreda, he's got a great approach whenever he hits, but we'll see him on the mound. Very smooth motion on the mound. He's got to deliver strikes to be effective.
So it's Florida and their 13 players taking on Alabama, only going 10 deep. Game 3, just moments away from Warner Robins. Welcome to Warner Robins. Huntsville, Alabama, and Melbourne, Florida, set to square off here. 3rd game of 4 on a busy day in day 1. Brennan Confreda getting the ball for Florida. Mike, tell us about the big lefty.
Well, he throws a good hard fastball. He's in middle upper 60s. Outstanding curveball, changeup. And for a left-hander, for a big guy, very, very smooth.
And he'll be facing an Alabama lineup that will have to produce some runs today. Drew Zinn leading things off. Jackson Davis second, Logan Moore third. Alexander's the cleanup. with Grigsby, Germono, Street, Seth Germono, brother of Austin, and then Isaiah Knight in the 9-hole. So Drew Zinn leading it off for Alabama, underway. Florida and Alabama. Drew Zinn, the defensive specialist for Bama, also sets the table. Here at the top of the order, he takes a strike. It's 1-1. Second time at the Southeast Regional for Alabama. Last time they were here, it was 3 years ago. Nice play made at first by Ryder. They'll tap on the bag for the first out. Let's take a look at the Florida defense, Mike. And this defense, they've been outstanding in this postseason for the Sunshine State.
Yeah, I got Bureau in left, Peacock in center, Austin Marshall in right field, Finnegan Goldinger. Wow, I love that name. Micah Cheatham at short, Dominic Leone at second base, Brandon Reeder at first, just made that play. Evan Lipsky behind the dish, and the big left-hander Brennan Confreda on the hill. That's Finnegan Goldinger. I mean, that's a big league name right there.
Oh, yeah. Jackson Davis. So far on our all-name team, we've got Ty Fry of Tennessee. And would you say Finnegan Goldinger, just give him a spot right now?
Oh, yeah, he's on for sure.
Davis takes one low. 2-2.
Yeah, during the warm-ups, there's a look at the third baseman. Goes by Finn. For whatever. Finnegan just sounds great.
Jackson Davis with a swing and a miss for strike 3, and there's 2 down here in the first.
Gonna take a peek in the left-hander, good hard fastball. Good location outside. No chance for Jackson Davis on that.
Now the most power on this Alabama team is up right now in the form of Logan Moore. He is their toughest player. Just by the eye test, Mike, this Alabama team, not only with the least number of players, but also the smallest kids in this tournament. They have huge hearts, and their head coach, Jeremy Davis, has bragged about these kids and how they have come together for this great tournament, but sat down in order here in the first. Confreda going through the lineup. Florida coming up when we come back.
That's good. Now get in the grass. Get in the grass. There you go. Hey guys. Hey. Micah Cheatham. Micah. You need to do what you need to do to be comfortable, right? If you need to see one, you do what you got to do. Line drive, though.
Clean inning for Florida. And now the Sunshine State comes up to bat in the bottom of the first. Logan Moore, the pitcher today for Alabama.
Well, Logan's a control pitcher, load mid-60s when he's effective. He has a curveball. He's very competitive, but it's almost, according to Coach Jeremy Davis, he's either on or off. So the leash is going to be short, and really they can't afford to to have too much because they've only got a 10-man roster.
Florida's lineup led by Micah Cheatham at the top of the order. Brandon Ryder is second. Jonah Peacock third. Finnegan Goldinger, part of our all-name team, is in the cleanup spot. Dominic Leone, Brennan Confreda. That's Baru hitting seventh. Marshall and Lipsky round out the order for Florida. Second appearance in the Southeast Regional for Vieira Suntree Little League, representing the Melbourne area. Melbourne on the east coast of Florida, if you're not familiar with the geographics of Florida. Beautiful state, beautiful beaches near that Space Coast side. Here in Warner Robins. The home state, Georgia, will take the field later tonight. Now it's Micah Cheatham leading it off for Florida. This lunges the bat out there, gets a piece, and it's into right field for a base hit. First pitch, and a base runner for Florida.
Well, pitch kind of down away. Not necessarily what you'd call the nitro zone, but sticking the bat out was Micah Cheatham, and I always say good things happen when you swing the bat.
Brandon Ryder's turn. Watches one high. Ryder, a guy that is 110% all the time. Gets a piece of that, and it's just foul. Almost looked like Logan Moore was sort of throwing a knuckleball that time. The way he palms that baseball out of his mitt. This one shot into center field. Nice catch made out there by Grigsby for the first out. Let's take a look at the defense for Alabama. Got Alexander in left, Griffin Grigsby in center, Isaiah Knight, the right fielder. Austin Germano at third with Drew Zinn, the shortstop, Jackson Davis, Jaden Street along the infield, Street at first. Seth Germano is the catcher. Austin and Seth, of course, brothers. Jonah Peacock now at bat for Florida.
Yeah, retrieving that ball, Delano Alexander was, let's say, had the questionable tag before the ball game. Had a bloody nose. The EMT guys went in and got him all set, and he's out there ready to battle in left.
This ball gets away. Seth Germano up throwing. Cheatham into second base sliding. So runner in scoring position now for Florida. This Florida team, a true team. No real superstars. They say no individuals. Everybody roots for each other, plays for each other. That's why they have had such great results here in the summer of 2019. Micah Cheatham, one of those guys, straight A student for Florida. These kids get it done in the classroom, on the field as well.
Certainly part of the package that's attractive to the, especially the college coaches. Mixing the student athlete and just opens up so many more doors for you.
Oh, big pitch there by Moore. Outside part of the plate, got it swinging.
Take a look here. Looked like a little cut fastball by Moore. Ball going down and away from Peacock. Couldn't reach it.
Now it's Finnegan Goldinger. That's right at our cameraman there along that first baseline. Finnegan's got the wide stance working. Cheatham on second base for Florida. This is hit hard into center field. Drifting back and making a great grab is Grigsby. Wow. Griffin Grigsby taking one away from Finnegan Goldinger. Alabama gets to the dugout unscathed to end the first inning.
Well, I tell you one thing, pitching, defense, outstanding by Grigsby in center field for the double play.
Keep it sharp, fellas.
Big defensive play for Alabama, and no score after one inning here in Warner Robins. Team from Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville American Little League. Huntsville city population just shy of 200,000, 100 miles north of Birmingham, and it's where the Alabama A&M Bulldogs call home. How about that play in center field by Grigsby? It's as good as it gets. Delano Alexander now swinging it. Clean-up batter, 4, 5, and 6 here for Alabama in the second.
Hey, outfield back to step. Jonah.
Confreda right now just
Everybody back to step.
reaching back and just throwing fastballs. So far, Alabama hasn't had a answer to it.
Outside corner for strike 3. He is pounding the zone right now.
Take it off, D. Take it off, baby.
Well, great location. Certainly high enough. Grabbed a piece of that outside corner. And when you're around the zone like Confreda is, you're going to get all those close calls.
Third strikeout for Confreda. And now the guy who made that great play in center field, Griffin Grigsby.
Finish it.
Griffin Fox Grigsby. That's another all name. Potential there. Foxy G is nickname. Couple brothers, couple sisters as well. Loves LeBron James. Also a big Freddie Freeman fan.
Battle, kid, battle.
1 ball, 2 strikes now.
I mentioned earlier in our open about competition.
Sure.
And seeing a bunch of games.
Hit hard to first. Good job by Ryder to come off the bag and stab it for out number 2. Continue, Mike.
And basically what that is you see all kinds of different pitching the more games you play. And Alabama may have not seen anybody the likings of a Brennan Confreda. Looks like velocity-wise, they're going to need to tune up the bats a little bit more. They're getting beat on the fastball. But it's something that, as a player, you have to make adjustments. Sometimes in games, sometimes between games. Those kinds of things that help you excel.
Austin Germano's turn. A little bit late that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody has reached base yet for Alabama. That was very close. A little bit warm today in Warner Robins. Overcast, though, at the moment as well. So not too bad. Also have a huge shade here at Little League Southeast Park. Fans can sit under it, just sit back, enjoy a great day of baseball. Full count, Confreda coming, and it's another strikeout. So 4 strikeout of the game so far for Brennan Confreda. Scoreless through 2 here in Warner Robins.
Put some balls in play here. We need some runners on. We're on 9 runs. Go to work, Dom.
Florida coming up now in the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here. Just 1 hit in this game by the Florida team. And if you're wondering about Melbourne, Florida, the Space Coast, population just shy of 83,000, 57 miles southeast of Orlando, and the home of Prince Fielder, former first baseman, Major League Baseball, son of the great Cecil Fielder. Sure you saw Cecil Fielder a lot, Mike, in your time. What a hitter he was.
I tell you, he was a big guy, and he really could hit. I mean, a pure hitter. He had plenty of power, but one of the greatest things is Yeah, it just didn't seem like he struck out very much. Really had a good job of centering the ball.
Knight in right field has a hard time with that one, and Florida gets the leadoff runner aboard here.
Well, Knight got a little turned around. The feet got tangled up, couldn't get back in position. We'll take a look at it. Here you see he turns the wrong way, and before he could get his body back in position, ball was already on the ground.
Now Brennan Confreda's turn. Five, 6, and 7 here for Florida. A little too far outside.
Now, Confreda, like most hitters, whenever he's at his best, he utilizes the middle of the field. He's got a good approach.
There's a strike. Confreda wants time.
Yeah, here as a hitter, you're looking for a certain pitch in a certain zone. If it's not there, you take it.
Confreda hits this one out of play.
Yeah, oftentimes that's part of the maturation process of as a hitter is finding out, what's your favorite pitch. I'll ask high school players, what's your favorite pitch? And they'll go, fastball. So, all right, where? What location? Down, in, middle, away? And at that point, you start refining yourself, and you start looking for that pitch.
Confreda draws the base on balls, so runners now on first and second for Florida. And now Baru's going to come to the plate with nobody out. Esana Baru watches that one outside. Hit hard up the middle for a base hit. Into center field, Florida with that first run coming around. It's 1-0. Baru comes through with an RBI base hit.
Now Baru heading the count 1-0. Got a good fastball hit, smashed it right up the middle. Leone easily scoring, but heads up base running. Brennan Confreda didn't hit the cutoff man, ended up taking that extra base.
Austin Marshall now for Florida. So both teams with brothers. For Florida, it's Austin Marshall and twin brother Colton Marshall. And for Alabama, it's Seth Germano and Austin Germano. Another ball that's hit hard into the gap this time. Fielded in left field, and a couple runs come in. Florida has taken a 3-0 lead. They are working it here in the second.
Common theme. Pitch up, out over the plate. That's the easiest one to handle. Good job by the left-hander. Keeping his hands up above to line that ball left field. Looked very, very natural hitting it that way.
Evan Lipsky, the catcher. Boy, have the bottom of the orders in the 3 games that we've worked, Mike, just been exceptional here today. You said it. There are just no weaknesses in these lineups. Germano's going to run all the way to first base, make sure that guy stays there.
The little fella's going to be tired by the end of the game if you're going to run everybody back.
He is so much fun.
I love the enthusiasm.
He is great to watch play. Seth Germano, left-handed catcher for Alabama. He was great in warm-ups. Brings a lot of enthusiasm. Have not seen him at the plate yet hitting. Should see him in the next inning. Evan Lipsky, bottom of the order for Florida. He'll be followed by Micah Cheatham. No outs right now. That ball gets away, and runner advances to second base. How tough do you think it is, or how much of a disadvantage, Mike, to be a catcher and to be left-handed?
Well, the advantages to certain pitchers and disadvantages to others. Normally, with that right-hander on the mound with a little tail, you know, it's a ball that can eat up a conventional catcher. Left-handed may be a little bit easier.
Knight running over. He'll make the grab in right field. Florida trying to tag up. Well executed on both sides. Austin Marshall sliding into third. Called a sacrifice for Evan Lipsky.
Yeah, it was interesting. I love the first base coaches nowadays. They look like they wear a suit of armor down there with all the pads that all the hitters have. Elbow pads, knee pads, ankle pads. They might as well just go up there with catching gear on.
Cheatham, oh, ball came right at him that time.
I got a piece of him. I think I got him right in the helmet, just a glancing blow. And take a peek at that. Looked like he was going to square bunt, and then, whoa!
Oof.
I think that got maybe some shoulder. Whatever it was, the young man's at first base and looks to be okay.
Brandon Ryder's turn. You see head coach Russell Cheatham. Russell, the manager for this Florida team. So much fun to talk to. Also works for the school district of Brevard County. Ball goes into center field. Florida's going to get another run, putting all sorts of pressure right now on the Alabama defense.
Yeah, maybe some miscommunication between the shortstop and second baseman. Both of them were there.
And there's Russell. He is a assistant superintendent for technology in Brevard County. Admits that probably would not have the patience to be a teacher, but loves coaching. Can't get enough of that. Second time up for Ryder. Florida right now just teeing off. Cheatham's going to stop at third. First and third now with one out.
Now Cheatham had to wait to see if that ball went through. Freezing on a line drive. Good base running. And once he hesitated, Russell Cheatham, dad, just said, all right, son, just stay right here. Maybe one of the few times that son listens to dad.
Ball's popped up right to the pitcher. Easy play for Logan Moore. Just what Moore needed in that situation. Now here comes Finnegan Goldinger.
Yeah, one of my little pet peeves on the first pitch, I really don't want my hitter to get beat. You get jammed real bad. If it's a pitch that you really don't care for, just go ahead and take it. You still have a couple left, especially when there's a guy in scoring position.
Goldinger hit that shot to center field his last time up. The great catch by Grigsby was able to rob it. Logan Morse got some tough resolve on the mound for Alabama. This could be a key moment in this game right here, with Florida leading 4-0. Their biggest bat at the plate who can really break it open. Alabama can figure out a way to get him out. It'd be huge, but not this time. To the right center. Goldinger rounding first. 2 runs are in. And the lead building for Florida at 6-0.
Well, make no mistake, Finnegan, Goldinger got a good piece of the first one. This one right here just absolutely roped in right center field. No chance at all for Alabama to keep that one from scoring 2 runs. Now Michael Grigsby out to the mound.
And a pitching change now on the way for Alabama. So we'll meet that new pitcher when we return to Warner Robins. Jackson Davis, the new pitcher for Alabama. Mike, what does he got?
Well, Jackson, fastball in the low 60s, really relies on movement, got a lot of movement, some sink, a little bit of tail into the righties, away from the lefties, throws a circle change, also a knuckle change, a little bit of a breaking ball, so you got the whole kitchen sink coming up at you.
So Austin Germano now playing second base. He moved over there from third. Logan Moore, who was pitching, is now at third. And Davis is now dealing for Alabama. Florida still swinging a mean stick. Turning around, trying to score. Play at the plate. The run is in. So Goldinger sliding in, and it's a 7-0 game.
Ideally, you'd like to have the right fielder hitting that cutoff man. Here he is going hard. Coach just waving him in.
Second time up for Confreda after walking. And Florida is now through the order here in the second inning. They have batted around. Launches this one to center field. It's going to stay in the park. And it'll be caught out there by Grigsby. But a big inning for Florida. They get 7 on the board. Baru started off the damage. And then the hit parade continued here in Warner Robins.
Additionally, you can find the tournament program that includes the official tournament roster insert. Don't forget to stop by the T-Mobile tent down on the third base side of the field. There you can make a sign to support your favorite team or player. Pick up your pink pom-poms and cheer the team on.
Do you want to play Little League? It's easy to find your local league. Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. Warner Robins, Georgia. 7-0 the score. Florida on top of Alabama. I'm Drew Felios alongside Mike LaValliere. It's game 3 of 4 on day 1. Champion of this regional, of course, will head off to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series to represent the Southeastern region. Alabama has not had a base runner just yet. Jaden Street trying to be the first. 7, 8, and 9 here in the third for Alabama.
Yeah, a very long inning for Florida, scoring those 7 runs. A lot of times it has an adverse effect on the pitcher. You know, you're getting up, sitting back down in the dugout, you're getting a little bit of rhythm, and then all of a sudden you've got a real long inning. It's hard to stay loose, hard to stay mentally into the ball game.
A strike delivered to Jaden Street. Full count. Street. Good cut that time. Chopped it foul.
I was thinking due to the score that be a little action in Florida bullpen. I just saw a couple young players head down that way.
Well, I'll tell you what, Confreda just continues to work wonders on the mound for Florida. 5th strikeout today, and he's only faced 7 batters.
Yeah, you take a look, and again, just good fastball, good location. Yeah, it's one of those, as a hitter, you can't pull the trigger, you get frozen. It's almost like you want to go to the umpire and say, would you please reconsider, sir? I didn't really mean to take that. That's the polite version of Spanky, by the way.
Seth Germano, the catcher.
Well, let's just say there's not a whole bunch of strike zone right here. This is one of the things I love about baseball. If you're playing basketball, you're playing football, there's some disadvantage. But here, you get that bat in your hands. As long as you get that bat in your hands, you swing it, you get a chance.
Three one now. A strike on the outside part of the plate. Seth didn't like it. This young man gives 150% on every single play. Always cheering on his teammates as well. Got great speed. See if he can get on here. And he does just that. A base on balls. And Seth Germano is the first base runner of the game for Alabama. And we got a player coaching first base right now. It's Merrick Gazelle.
Well, what ends up happening whenever you have a 10-man roster, you're only allotted 2 coaches. So you have one that's got to be in the dugout. You've got your coach out at third base. So now you have to have one of your players out there coaching first base.
Confreda's day is going to be done on the hill after 39 pitches. See Russell Cheatham going out to the mound to make the change. That's a great shot right there. 2 Alabama players at first base. So we'll introduce you to our new Florida pitcher when we come back. Alabama trying to get some runs on the board. Top of the third inning and a new pitcher for Florida. Confreda did his job. Now he hands the ball to Declan McBride.
Well, Declan, not a power guy at all. He's a guy that's upper 50s, may touch 60. Curveball, changeup, a lot of those. And what he does is he uses those off-speed pitches to set up his fastball. So you see some soft stuff, and all of a sudden he zips that fastball and may come in at 60, but feels a little bit more like 65. And his key right now is get that ball over the plate, use your defense, pitch to contact.
Defensive changes for Florida. Confreda now moves over to first. As this one taken high.
Up the middle, turn 2.
Brandon Ryder is now in left field for Florida. And we've got Caruso playing in right. That is Robbie Caruso making his first appearance. Outside once more. Isaiah Knight, the hitter here for Alabama in the 9-hole. Isaiah has a very important role for Alabama's team. He is the motivational speaker of the team. Gets the guys together for pregame rallies, gets everybody pumped up, inspires his teammates. Gets around that time. And it's 3-2.
You know, conventional baseball, 3-0, down by 7 runs is to make him throw a strike. Yeah, coaches have different philosophies. Sometimes that's the best ball you can hit is the 3-0 fastballs. You feel confident, let them hit.
Big swing by Knight, but it's into the catcher's mitt and a strikeout for Declan McBride.
Take a look at the little fastball. It looked like it had maybe a little cut on it. Great location. I'll tell you, the bread and butter for 98% of pitchers is that down and away fastball.
Florida pitchers have struck out 6 Alabama batters. Top of the order now for Drew Zen. Again, keep in mind there's only one sub Alabama's working with today, Merrick Gazelle. Alabama only 10 deep. It's a very lonely bench. Is this one fouled back? You know, one way you can look at that is you're shorthanded, you don't have enough guys, but then the other way you can look at it is, you know what, it's pretty fun because you know you're going to get in, everybody's going to play, and it just makes the team that much tighter, doesn't it?
Well, you just, again, you know, try to get positivity out of everything that happens. You look at the Alabama team and, you know, gone through some things, lost some of their players, and, you know, they were at 12 at one point, lost a couple, so, you know, it's life goes on.
Yep.
Do the best you can, no matter what you're doing. As I say, every time you put that uniform on, you get a chance to get better and open somebody's eyes.
Oh, big swing there. Another curveball executed perfectly from Declan McBride. Florida with a 7-0 lead after 3.
For Alabama in the top of the third inning, no runs, no hits, there were no scored errors, and 1 runner left on base. It's -3.
Declan, what is for you? Declan, you're up. Bobby, you're on deck. Now playing third base, number 2, Isaiah Knight. And the first base, number 5, Logan Moore.
Summer of 2019, Little League facts and figures for you. 30,000 plus Little League tournament games here in the next few months. 6,500 local leagues in 80 plus countries and 2.4 million Little League participants. Opening round here, Little League Southeast Regional, Warner Robins, Georgia. Drew Felios with Mike LaValliere. And it's time for Florida now. In the bottom of the third. Declan McBride, his first time up after coming into pitch. It's been all Florida so far. Jackson Davis, the pitcher for Alabama. Couple changes defensively for Alabama. We've got Isaiah Knight at third base, and Logan Moore, who was the starting pitcher for Alabama, now playing first base. This is hit on the ground to the shortstop, and he cannot handle it there. Good job booking it out. As you see, getting on Declan McBride. As McBride gets on, want to just keep our attention on the weather that may be bearing down here in Warner Robins. That cloud starting to get darker and darker in right field, and hearing a little bit of the chatter around the press box that just something we got to keep an eye on, because if we start to see some light flashing, then we will in fact go into a delay. Robbie Caruso lines it into center field. Everybody's swinging right now for Florida.
Yeah, nice line drive. Keeping those hands above the ball. That high fastball is so essential. You keep your hands above, you can smash that thing. It can go a long, long way. It's one of the things that when I look at professional hitters versus amateur hitters, amateur hitters will take that hanging fastball up high.
Hit into center field once again. Turning around third. They're going to go to third base with it. And out there, Florida's going to get a run out of this as McBride crosses the plate. Caruso was the guy tagged out at third. But it's 8-0.
Well, base hit up the middle. Florida getting a little bit greedy. A good job by Alabama hitting the cutoff man. Nice tag by Isaiah Knight. And again, just a little greed on Florida's part.
Cheatham, same spot. Boy, they love hitting it into center field. Florida just teeing off right now. To third base is Colton Marshall, who had that RBI base hit.
And you look at majority of major league hitting coaches, and they preach day in, day out, use the middle of the field, use the middle of the field. Helps you stay on the ball, helps you stay on the off-speed stuff. And I tell you, it's something that they talk to you blue in the face, but there are very few guys that are very successful being just pull hitters.
Runner attempts to go to second. Try and get him there, and he's safe. Got under the tag. Second base umpire there to make the call, Stephen Lewis. Seth Germano, the catcher, he has been busy all afternoon as Florida runners continually trying to take extra bases.
Well, good job by Davis. Throw just maybe a tad high. Throws a little bit lower. Probably has a pretty good chance of getting them. Looks like Alabama's going to challenge this.
Coach Marshall. Coach Marshall.
Gerald Johnson will get on the phone. Also want to keep in mind with two runners on here, Mike, if Florida were to push two across and have a 10-0 lead and take that into the next inning, Alabama would have to score. This game would be over.
Right. Being the home team, the run rule would be in effect, where up by 10 runs after 4 innings, but if that bottom of the 4th inning, if you're the home team, you do not have to play that bottom. And nobody wants to get run ruled. You know, when you get to this level of competition, there's a lot of pride. You know, just being your state champion.
Well, then it's going to be all the way back.
You know, call on the field was safe, so there's got to be conclusive proof that the runner would be out.
Cheatham on second base for Florida. Take one more look here. Completely spun Jackson Davis around. Just tough to overturn that. Safe at second.
A little bit of confusions when you have the breakaway bases. It kind of makes it a little bit tougher to see exactly when the foot hits it and pushes it away. But it's all in the safety of the players.
Brings up Brandon Ryder now. He'll put this one in play to the third baseman. Long throw to make. But Knight gets it done. Now ball gets away into left field. Cheatham thought about heading home, but thought otherwise. Russell Cheatham, manager of this Florida team. Son doing a great job here in this game. He's been on base every time today for Florida. And now Jonah Peacock with a chance to come in. And tell you what, for Florida, I think it's important to get Cheatham across the plate here, because you have to think you win by 10 runs. Actually, Mikey Minarik here is going to bat for Florida, so he'll pinch hit off the bench. You have a shortened game. That means you save a lot of pitching.
Well, that's part of it. There lots of talk about unwritten rules in baseball and when you stop stealing, et cetera, et cetera. When you're in a tournament and you've got to save pitching, to me that gets all thrown out.
To the backstop. Cheatham going to try and get to home. Out right there. Ball came off the backstop and a heads-up play by Germano to limit Florida's damage to only 2 runs. So they tack on a couple more. It's 9-0 going to the bottom of the 4th.
Hang on, listen.
For Florida in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 Alabama error, 1 runner left on base. And 8.
You got to call them with any changes. So who's right back there? Did anybody go back there? No. Mikey's in for Jonah.
Nine 9-0 your score. Florida leading Alabama. Alabama fans cheering on their team. Jackson Davis right now in the spotlight for Alabama on the mound, and Declan McBride throwing for Florida, replacing Confreda, who was brilliant today. Nearly went 3 innings. 9-0 to score right now. So Alabama must get some runs here considering the way Florida has been scoring. Remember, if Florida were to score in the bottom half of this inning and Alabama did not, the game would be over after a 10-run rule. Jackson Davis, 2, 3, and 4 for Alabama.
And middle infield, charge the ball, let's go. Get you ready here. Look alive, Mike Ed.
Curveball, just misses. One change defensively for Florida in center field, Mikey Minark. Just checked in. Just hit to the right fielder, and it drops right in front of Caruso and behind Leone.
Well, first base hit for Alabama. Right now, this is pretty much a right fielder's ball. He's got the much easier chance at it. Second baseman goes out. Once he hears his name called off, then he kind of bails on it, but no communication between the second base and right fielder on that play.
Logan Moore for Alabama struck out his first time up. Ball's put in play, and it's a tough play for the shortstop. Cheatham safe at first.
Now Micah Cheatham with a good effort. Ball not hit very well. Logan Moore digging for first base. Take another look at it. Cheatham was the only one that had a chance. Call it first baseman, John Chapman.
Delano Alexander watches a strike. It's the best threat that Alabama's had this entire game. Runners on first and second. Jackson Davis got it started with a base hit.
We saw in our first ball game, Tennessee down by a bunch. Came back and had a chance to tie it up, had the tying run at home plate, or actually the winning run at home plate. So anything's possible here in Little League Baseball.
Two balls, one strike. Very excited mother in the stands. And this one's hit to the second baseman. Double play potential for Florida. Cheatham trying to turn it. Now they throw down to third. Ball gets away this time. So Florida able to get one out of it. And fortunate that time that they don't give up a run off the throwing error.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you want your defense to handle the ball properly. Don't get crazy, start throwing it all around the diamond, because the more chunks around the diamond, the better chance of throwing it into the seats.
One out now. Griffin Grigsby will be the batter. Grigsby grounded out his first time up. Wind starts to pick up a little bit here in Warner Robins. Ball called just off the plate. Griffin Grigsby is the guy on the Alabama team that just makes everybody laugh. Coaches says he is the goofball. Enjoys being in that role too.
I mentioned the words live wire, and they say, "Oh yeah, that's him to a T."
Got to have the right mix, not just of talent sometimes, but of personality. Griffin made a great play in that first inning, drifting back to that center field warning track. Hanging in here, 2-2. Hits this one to the third baseman. A run will score for Alabama. Throw down to second, safe there. Alabama finally on the scoreboard here in the top of the fourth.
Well, ball not hit hard enough to get Jackson Davis trying to score, but good job by Finnegan Goldinger getting that out at first. And right there, Florida is more than willing to give up a run to get an out.
The batter number 44, Austin Turner.
Austin Germano now. 6-hole for Alabama. A strike. Oh, he liked that pitch. Wanted to swing at it. Held back.
Micah, up a step.
2 strikes now. Well, try and step up a step here. Here, his coach is saying, hey, widen that stance. He does, and he gets a piece of one into right field. Caruso drifting over for Florida to make the catch and get Florida out of the inning. But Alabama does get 1 run. 9-1 your score. Headed to the bottom of the fourth. Are you looking for training videos for coaches and umpires? Get free backyard tips, practice plans, drills, videos, and much more. Visit LittleLeagueUniversity.org today. That's LittleLeagueUniversity.org. Bottom of the fourth inning here in Warner Robins. A 9-1 game. And now Florida with Mikey Menarek leading things off. Menarek, the final sub to hit for Florida. Also seen Caruso, Marshall, and McBride get their at-bats, and all of them off the bench delivering base knocks. Need balance. Florida's got it. This is shot into right field, and it drops for a hit. So all 4 off the bench have come through.
Well, you got to love it. Your reserve players come in swinging the bats. And one thing to keep in mind that they're all all-stars. They're normally numbers 2, 3, and 4 in their regular lineups.
Golddinger down the right field line. Had that big RBI double his last time up. He has got a monster swing. Now he's one of those kids that can certainly hit it out of this ballpark. Jammed him a little bit that time.
Yeah, good pitch by Jackson Davis. When you've got those power hitters, a lot of times the best way to negate that power is to get them inside where they can't get their arms extended. That's where their power comes from.
2 strikes. Outside corner, lays off it. And it's 1-2. Keep in mind, if Florida were to score 2 runs in this inning, the 10-run rule would be into effect, called the run rule in Little League. Big time curveball there, froze Golddinger. And he is going to be out. First base was occupied. Menard eventually gets down to second. How about that pitch, though, from Jackson Davis?
Well, he'd been feeding him that fastball inside. And he came with that breaking ball and just froze him.
And that looks like it is going to be it for Jackson Davis. Going to have a pitching change for Alabama. Their 3rd pitcher of the game to take the mound when we come back.
Defensively for Alabama now pitching number 55, Drew Zen, moving over to the shortstop, number 24, Jackson Davis.
New pitcher in the game for Alabama will be Drew Zen, a 12-year-old, 115 pounds, who loves Harrison Ford. And Mikey has got some stuff, too.
Well, shortstop coming in to pitch. Fastball in the low 60s. Changeup, fastball, changeup guy, 2-pitch pitcher. And his strength is his control. Able to spot up that fastball whenever he wants.
Jackson Davis will move to shortstop. Take a look at the 2 winners we've had today. In our first game, South Carolina topping Tennessee 9-7, then Virginia impressively over North Carolina. Florida leading Alabama here. Later on tonight, the home state, Georgia, will take on West Virginia, right at the second baseman. And 2 outs now.
Absolute bullet by Leone. Nicely done by Austin Germano at second base. Nifty little grab.
Now batting the first baseman, number 18, Brendan Confreda.
Now here's Confreda. Watches this one outside. Well, he has done some damage today, Brennan. What a pitching performance he had. 2 balls, no strikes, and right now if you're Zinn, you got to be really careful with Confreda's bat. Certainly another guy with home run power.
And I'd have to thank 3-0. He's got the green light. I certainly would be giving it to him.
Does swing at it and fouls it away. Explain why.
Well, anytime you've got a guy up at the plate that's got home run power, and you've got a situation where you can save some pitching, 3-0, give him the green light, let him rip at it.
Another swing. So back-to-back foul balls. And now 3-2.
I just don't like to handcuff my guys whenever I've got a chance to go ahead and win a ball game.
Struck him out. Confreda did not like the pitch, and Drew Zinn just painted that outside corner to get Alabama to the dugout. 9-1 is your score after 4.
Be sure to visit and pick up a burger on hot dogs and popcorn, candy, or drinks.
And 720. Now you're going to go back into 41 and then they'll go to left field and he's going to come in. When we get to that play. So we might just say just go ahead and start. You need to be prepared. Are you on? Let's go. When Mikey comes, when none of y'all want these guys up. When Mikey comes, oh yeah, it's over. When Mikey comes in, you will see. Yeah, I didn't know.
9-1 the score. Florida leading Alabama. Florida has led pretty much the entire way. 10 hits on the afternoon for the Sunshine State. Alabama getting on the board, though, in the last inning, trying to keep the run production going here. How about that play by Confreda charging in from first?
Yeah, good communication. First baseman came in full gallop. Evan Lipsky behind the dish. He wanted some of it. Those 2 big kids right there, glad they avoided each other.
Now our favorite guy for Alabama, Seth Germano. Walked his last time up. Well, that is a very tight strike zone to work against right now if you're Declan McBride.
Micah, up a step.
And a baby. I love it. Good swing.
Another big swing from Seth Germano. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Struck him out that time. So Declan McBride picking up right where Confreda left off, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, McBride with a little smile on his face thinking, boy, I had to get my control going right there. But you're right, he's come in, giving up the 1 run, but get the punch-out pitch working.
Bottom of the order now, Isaiah Knight. Florida trying to advance into the winner's bracket. Strike called there. And when you look at this Southeast Regional as a whole, appearances by state, Florida by far has the edge with 22 total appearances at the Little League World Series. Tennessee the next best with 8. Shot right to Confreda, and he takes it away. Heading to his right. Good defensive inning by Florida, leading 9-1.
So we're going Izzy to back here. So 10's in for 41, right? Right? 10 for 41, right? I know, but I gotta tell him he's going back in. Okay? Hey. They both got hits. I don't know. Work hard, kid.
Little League in the Southeastern region was to thank the many volunteers who have dedicated their time to assist us during this game and throughout the tournament. The countless hours of hard work provided by volunteers allowed us to provide a wonderful tournament experience. Thank you to all the volunteers of the 2019 Southeastern Regional Tournament.
Bottom of the 5th inning, wind really starting to pick up here in Warner Robins, with Florida sitting on a 9-1 lead. Alabama on their 3rd pitcher, and all eyes right now very quietly on the weather. We had some mean-looking clouds looking like they were about to form in right field, but they have sort of moved away momentarily. Temperature hovering around 90 degrees. We had gorgeous weather here last week for the Little League Southeast Regional Softball Tournament.
Now, I've taken care of the weather. I brought my umbrella. So anytime I bring my umbrella, it will not rain.
Now it's Baru, pinch hitting for Florida. Had that big base hit to get the run production started. Florida with that monster 2nd inning, scoring 7 runs, adding 2 more in the 3rd. This Florida team balanced across the board. Druzin has his hands full here late in this game. Hit to the 3rd baseman. It's a good play by Knight. Scoop it first, tapping on the bag, and getting Baru just in time.
Yeah, nice job by Logan Moore. At first base, that ball was almost destined for right field. See the smash to Isaiah Knight, gets it okay, but not only did he pick it, pull him off the bag and get the foot back on.
Hit to the 2nd baseman. Little one-hopper over to first again. Safe there. It looked like the ball came out of the mitt that time of Moore.
I'm going to call this one an unforced error. Ball is 2nd base, and Austin Germano didn't look like he got a good grip on it. Moore couldn't save that one.
Evan Lipsky to the plate. So Florida with the winning run right now at the plate. Remember, if they were to get 2 in this inning, it would be ball game. Courtesy of the run rule in Little League Baseball. Austin Marshall at first base. Lipsky puts it into right field. Marshall stops at second, a little bit held up. Now first and second for Florida, and just 1 out.
Yeah, a little indecision at second base. And that's where you got to pick up your coach. Lipsky with a base hit in right field. And as a runner, you want to look at second base, pick up your coach again. If in doubt, always pick up your coach.
Lay a bunt down. This is Cheatham. Watch his speed. Wow. He flew down that line. And he'll load the bases now for Florida.
Yeah, no chance at all.
Oh, yeah.
Cheatham just absolutely perfectly placed.
Brings up Brandon Ryder. Florida can win here with a base hit. Hit into left field. Runner will stop at third base. 10-1 now. Florida with a 9-run lead as Marshall crosses the plate. Jonah Peacock coming up, and right now Russell Cheatham likes what he sees. And look at this Florida team swing the bat, Mike. It's no question they are good. We did not know really what we would see out of them, but they have shown pretty nice balance here today. Ball put in play, or is it foul? Coach is right now wondering. Looked like the signal was foul ball. Gerald Johnson came out of his stance, and it will be foul.
I was going to say a very slow developing play right there. Sneak a peek at it. That's a tough call for the home plate umpire because he's zeroed in on the.
Oh, off his left leg.
He's zeroed in on the ball. So really tough call for him. That's where your base umpires can kind of help out. Make sure everybody knows it's a foul ball.
Catch it, go 4.
Two balls, 1 strike to Jonah Peacock, who can win the game here. Ball gets by. Germano picks it up once more. Germano keeps on fighting behind the plate.
Yeah, there's no give up in that fella.
Not at all.
He's probably gonna like throw it so slow down the middle.
And the walk is going to produce another run, and that is going to do it. As Florida takes a 10-run lead, the run rule in effect. 11-1 will be the final score. Florida over Alabama. Alabama did everything they could, but Florida had just too much firepower here today.
Well, scoring 11 runs, they had 13 base hits. Took advantage of some miscues by Alabama, but this ball game was all about Florida's offense. They went and scored 7 runs in the second inning, effectively taking Alabama out of it. They fought hard to get another run in the fourth, but ultimately Florida was just the better team in this ball game.
So Florida wins by 10, 11-1, the final score. Hope you enjoyed it. For Mike LaValliere and our fabulous crew, next game, Georgia takes on West Virginia. That at 7 Eastern time. I'm Drew Felios saying so long from Warner Robins.